Homo luzonensis. The species stood at less than 4 feet tall, which scientists have gleaned from the small size of its teeth. The fossils were found to date back to a time period in the late Pleistocene era as recent as 50,000 years ago. It was during this time that our own ancestors and the Neanderthals were spreading across Europe and into Asia. It also had primitive-looking fingers, and both the fingers and toes were curved, suggesting that the creature liked to climb. The fossil remains included adult finger and toe bones, as well as teeth. There are some really interesting features. For example, the teeth are really small. The size of the teeth generally, though not always, reflect the overall body size of a mammal. So researchers think that Homo luzonensis was probably relatively small. How small we don't know. We would need to find some skeletal elements from which we could measure body size more precisely. Several feet and hand bones, a partial thigh bone, and teeth from at least 3 ancient individuals were also unearthed, believed to be 2 adults and 1 juvenile. The scientists said that the teeth are highly unusual, with strikingly small molars that are similar in size to those of modern humans. They shared other characteristics with far more primitive hominins, including one known for its massive jaws and teeth. The extremities, that is the hand and feet bones, are remarkably Australopithecine-like. The Australopithecines last walked the earth in Africa about 2 million years ago, and are considered to be the ancestors of the Homo group, which includes modern humans. So, the question is whether some of these features evolved as adaptations to island life, or whether they are anatomical traits passed down to Homo luzonensis from their ancestors over the preceding 2 million years. Today, only one species of hominin group remains, Homo sapiens, to which everyone on Earth belongs. It was a different story 50,000 years ago, when several varieties of hominin coexisted. Now another name has been added to the list. Homo luzonensis, after scientists analyzed an unusual set of fossil remains from Callao Cave. They included our own species, Homo sapiens, and Neanderthals, both living in Europe and Western Asia, and the Homo floresiensis or hobbits from Indonesia. One of the foot bones examined had an anatomy distinct from all other known hominins, including modern humans. In addition, Homo luzonensis had toes identical to those of Australopithecus, a primitive species that lived in Africa at least 2 million years earlier. The discovery of Homo luzonensis underscores the complexity of the evolution, dispersal and diversity of the genus Homo outside of Africa, and particularly in the islands of Southeast Asia, during the Pleistocene. All species of human, both living and extinct, are believed to have originated in Africa. They then moved out in 2 major waves of migration hundreds of thousands of years apart. The sole representative of the first wave is widely thought to have been Homo erectus, an intrepid traveler who spread across the globe more than 1.5 million years ago. However, this theory has looked increasingly shaky in recent years, especially with the discovery in 2004 of Homo floresiensis on the Indonesian island of Flores. The latest find throws up even more doubts. Homo luzonensis provides yet more evidence that hints that Homo erectus might not have been the only globe-trotting early hominin. Because Homo luzonensis provides the first glimpse of a second hominin species, living on a distant island at a time when Homo sapiens populations from Africa were beginning to spread across the world. One thing can be said for certain: our picture of hominin evolution in Asia during the Pleistocene just got even messier, more complicated, and a whole lot more interesting. Standing a little over 3 feet, 0.9 meters, tall, the inhabitants of Liang Bua Cave on the remote Indonesian island of Flores are known from just a few fragmented remains. The first remains were found in 2003, and since then partial skeletons of 9 individuals, including 1 complete skull, have been unearthed. Researchers believe the little people were descendants of prehistoric humans, who became isolated on the island around 1 million years ago. There are various theories for how they got there. Some believe they may have walked across a land bridge from the mainland Asia, and as sea levels rose they became cut off. Others suggest they were swept to the island following a tsunami. Once cut off, these hominids then had to survive on what food they could find, They evolved a small stature. Scientists have previously said they were clever hunters because they had found evidence of tool making, butchering and fires.